Good morning. Welcome to the Oi Real Pro, presented by Corona, as we see surfers prepping for the day, and we are going to get going. Finishing off round number 3 for the men's. We're going to get into round number 3 with the women. Kaipaguro along with 89 world champ Martin Potter. But Potts, we're starting the day with an absolute banger. It's going to be Yago Dora, the exciting young goofy foot, Brazilian goofy foot, coming up against current world champ John Florence, and this is going to be a display of innovative surfing coming at you.
100%, Kaipa. I mean, look at it. 7 o'clock in the morning, the beach is already packed. One of the best heats of the day to kick things off. Obviously, John with that yellow jersey on, but he's up against one of the local favorites, Yago Dora. This guy's a phenomenon. A 9.27 in round 1, came back, surfed incredibly well against Chloe Andino, and here he finds himself in probably the biggest heat of his life. I can't wait to get the ball rolling today.
That's right, that 9.27 is tied for the highest single wave score for the men's right now. So Yago Dora coming in, guns loaded, and we're going to see him. This is probably the most challenging heat that we're going to see John come up against so far here in 2017.
Yeah, especially with the conditions the way they are. The swell has dropped considerably, and we are looking at surf in around about the 3-foot range, maybe the odd bigger set coming through. But it is going to be Rampsville. We're going to see a lot of above the lip surfing. And I think that's going to have to be the point of difference with Yago Dora. Obviously, John, one of the best in the air. He is probably one of the best all-round surfers on the planet, from everything from 30 foot down to 2 foot. But it's going to be great to watch.
That's right, and let's see a little bit more of what John has in store.
Ranked number 1 in the world, and he's getting bigger and stronger by the day.
Being able to wear the yellow Jeep Leaders jersey here is amazing.
He's probably one of the best at surfing tricky conditions. He's going to light it up no matter which way he goes.
That's a super fun wave. It's got a lot of power to it. There's a lot of options for us, I think. It's exciting to have a new place on tour. I'm just pretty excited to see how the waves are and just kind of get into surfing heats again.
The yellow Jeep Leaders jersey worn by John Florence, the 2016 world champ. He's currently the leader on the Jeep leaderboard, but he's coming against this wild card, 20-year-old Yago Dora. He was our trials winner here in Saquarema, and like Pot said, already has displayed some incredible surfing.
Ranked number 3 on the QS at the moment too, so he is definitely well and truly on his way to qualifying for the big stage next year. So this is going to be a great experience for him, coming up against the world's best. He gets to test the medal, see where he stands. But you know, I reckon this is going to probably be one of the toughest heats for John. If he can get past this one, it could be smooth sailing for him, with that swell starting to increase again as this waiting period continues. But it is all on here this morning. The heat has already started, and we can't wait to see this unfold.
Saw John earlier this morning. He was looking very focused and serious at the same time. I'm sure he knows of the challenge, and I'm sure that he's aware of what young Yago Dora can bring to him. Like you said, Yago number 3 on the QS so far in 2017. At the end of the year, we take the top 10 out of those qualifying series ratings to join the world's elite in the championship tour in 2018. Yago is going to be first up to his feet and just in and out. So nothing to be said about that, with 28 minutes counting down.
Yeah. I like it though. I like his, you know, he wants to surf. He wants to get the ball rolling. First wave, obviously, now he hands that priority back to John. So now John just gets to sit and wait and pick and choose the right wave as it comes through here this morning. Beautiful, clean conditions, offshore winds. And that tide is sort of around the mid-range tide. It's going to start going out through the morning. So we'll start seeing that wave stand up a little more, Kaipo.
That's right. Round 3 matchups running on the bottom of your screen right now. We saw a brief glimpse in the competitors area of Leandro Dora, Yago's dad. Also, Leandro was Adriano de Souza's coach in his 2015 campaign for a world title. So The backup squad is here for Yago, also known as the Skinny Goat. There's Leandro filming. He's got great advice, great insight, obviously, as a surf coach. And now his son, a chance to make a statement, Potts, on the big stage here.
A massive statement. I mean, if you can come up against the world champ, the defending world champ, the defending event champ here at the Oi Rio Pro, and take him down, that's going to be big for you. Obviously, the world is watching, and this is as big as the stage as you're going to get for a young kid like that.
Crispy, clean conditions here. We felt it in the morning with the offshore wind. The swell has turned down a notch, but that's going to allow that high performance surfing that we've been looking for, and it's going to lessen, Potts, that dreaded backwash that we've been seeing sometimes out here at Saquarema.
Yeah, it looks a lot more in control this morning. You know, you heard the surfers talk about the fact that when the swell does drop off a bit, there's a lot more form to the wave. It's a lot cleaner with less bounce, so we should see these guys connecting way better with the wave. At the moment, just a sleepy start to the heat, but I'm sure we're going to get fireworks here very shortly.
Well, Yago Dora showed us what he had in round number 2, eliminating Kolohe Bloomfield with an excellent score of a 9.27. Kolohe Andino, sorry. That's who's Kolohe's named after. Here we go. This is it.
Yeah, this was the wave. You know, obviously you can see how dangerous this kid is. He's got a good rail game. He's got an air game, second to none. He looks confident. He's powerful. He's quick. He's agile, and he is not scared. That's for sure.
Big opportunity, and oftentimes where we see, you know, the waves were firing in the warm-up session, the horn sounds, and the ocean taking a little bit of a breather right now. Time ticking away in this half-hour heat, down to 25 minutes and no scores really to speak of as of yet. John Florence, the yellow P by his name, signifying that he has priority. Let's find out what's going on for the rest of the day. For that, we're going to go down to Strider Wazalewski. He's with our Deputy Commissioner, Travis Logie.
Thanks, Kaipo. Yeah, down here with Trav. Trav, what do we got going? There are a lot of people on the beach already.
Yeah, it's Saturday morning and it's packed already. We're going to finish off men's round 3 and then go straight into women's round 3, and then from then on everything's on standby. So there's a chance we could do men's round 4, or women's round 4, women's quarters. So it could be a long day.
What do we have on the forecast? Have you guys been looking at that for later today?
Yeah, it's supposed to dip a little bit today, and then tomorrow could be an interesting one because the swell drops but the period comes up, so anything could happen tomorrow. And then next week, Wednesday, Thursday, could be really good. So we'll keep an eye on everything and see how we go.
Did you get out there and test it this morning?
No, not this morning. I leave it to the competitors to practice. I'll sneak in a couple of Arvo sessions though.
All right, well, thank you. And there you have it. We'll see what happens today.
Thanks, Strider. As we see the gallery looking on, we saw one Jordy Smith. He's going to be next up against Jadson Andre in the second heat of the morning, heat number 7, round number 3. But this much anticipated matchup with a sleepy start. There we go with Smith and Andre coming up next. Potts, it looks like it's going to turn into a 23-minute heat.
Yeah, it's going to be a slugfest coming into the back part of this one, that's for sure. You know, there's not much you can do though, right? You're not going to try and catch mediocre waves, knowing that there is a possibility of a good one coming around the corner. So John's just going to play the patient game. He's a smart competitor. He's wearing that yellow jersey for a reason, that's for sure. And he's won this event before, so he's not in any kind of stress at the moment, just nice and relaxed. And as you can see, some waves starting to come through the lineup at the moment. Yago Dora having a look at this little inside wave. Is he going to go? Here we go.
They call him the Skinny Goat. Let's see what he's got coming down the line, building up some speed. Smacks it off the lip there, looking for more. Right through, up in the air, and comes disconnected, incomplete. Yago's going to have to take another swing at it as he paddles back out. Let's see if we're going to have our first glimpse at John Florence. Another wave out the back, more opportunity. Florence scanning it, looking right. John Florence up and riding and ducks out as that wave just closes out. Down to 22 minutes.
Yeah, that was interesting right there from John. But also from Yago. I mean, you know, surfing against someone like John, it almost feels like you've got to surf out of your skin if you're going to beat him. And with that, mistakes are going to come. He looked a lot more comfortable up against Chloe Andino, but up here against John Florence, you can see just going for broke on that last maneuver, getting disconnected from the board. But you kind of got to tone it down a bit and just get a couple of waves under your belt, build that confidence up. You can see that rail game we talk about, and then pushing the issue on the last turn, unfortunately not making it. So Yago Dora, well, 2.67, so nothing of substance just yet. John with a quick little in and out maintains that priority, and the waiting game continues.
Well, we talk about superheats, Potts, and we saw stop number 3 at Bells, a matchup between Mick Fanning and Kelly Slater. It was much anticipated. However, it seemed to me that because of that anticipation and the gravity of that heat, the performances weren't really there. But both surfers seemed to be overthinking the heat. Could that be the case today in the water?
Absolutely. You know, when you've got so much pressure on a heat, when a heat looks so good on paper, especially with, you know, when you're talking about Mick and Kelly, they both wanted to win that heat so badly. They both wanted to perform at such a high level that sometimes it just that they sort of self-implode, and that can quite easily happen here right now. A lot of energy on the beach, focused out on the lineup. Jadson Andre with that steely look. He's got Jordy Smith, a big heat for him coming up as well. So yeah, we just got to play the waiting game. Hopefully the swell and the waves come to play as well, and these guys get a couple of good ones. But 20 minutes remaining and nothing to talk of just yet.
Like you said, it's going to be fireworks at the end. Jordy Smith scanning the lineup and psyching up, getting his headspace right. Coming up against Jadson Andre. Jordy currently tied on the Jeep leaderboard, number 2 in the world. So he can gain some ground right now, especially depending upon what happens in this heat with Yago Dora and John Florence. Looking to the numbers, Potts, the average heat score for John so far in 2017, an excellent score line, 16.77. That is a high number. That means basically every time John goes out, he's been getting excellent scores.
Yeah. And that's crazy. I mean, and you've just got to go back to Margaret River where, you know, obviously round 1, it was tough conditions. But then from round 3 onwards, John was scoring up into the 19+ points for each heat. So comboing every single one of the field. That's the kind of surfing that this guy brings. And generally in those tricky testing conditions is when John really does perform at a high level. So yeah, you look at the fantasy as well, Piper, that's a big number for him as well. 86% of you guys chose John, whereas only 1% for Yago.
That's right, Potts. When we talk about excellent scores, it's a score anywhere from 8 to 10 point range. Topping off more on the numbers, we have our head judge, Richie Porta, up in the judges tower. Richie, you there with us?
I am.
Well, give us a little synopsis today of the criteria, Richie.
Well, hang on, let's just watch this for a sec. Maybe the boys are going to have a look at this one. We'll get back to you in a jiffy.
Thanks, Rich. And you're right, here we go. All eyes on Yago Dora. Opens up with a nice carve. Tries to throw the air again with the same result. Becomes disconnected. Richie.
Yes, I'm here.
So today's criteria.
Yeah, obviously the surf's dropped a little bit, but super clean conditions, and we're going to see some great surfing. I was listening to you guys talk before and talking about, you know, overcooking the heat and thinking too much of it, and you know, it's uncanny how many first heats we get in contests all around the world that are slow. Hang on, I'll just watch John here.
All right, John on a good looking left. Nice carve. Keeping it on the wave face and pacing through a couple of turns here. Just nice paced surfing for John Florence. Wants to get a number on the board, and he's going to do so. I thought that was smart surfing. Just wanted to get a number. You probably heard there was a couple of incompletes by Yago Dora. Back to you, Richie.
Yeah, so we've had a little lull, and that happens a lot of the time. It's really quite strange how it happens, but we did see a lot of good surf before we started, and that's why we're obviously on, and that'll come back, there's no doubt. So we're going to see, same as it's been, it's a little bit more high performance now because the backwash has gone a fair bit, and you'll see some airs, obviously, you know, these two guys out in the water, amazing aerial surfers. And we'll see those combos, and as, you know, we were talking all through the contest, we saw some of the combination of major manoeuvres yesterday in those critical sections, got that really high score, and obviously today the sections aren't as big, but it's still a comparison with each wave and what the guys and the girls later on are doing on them.
All right, Richie, well, the score just came in for John is at a 4.33 for that wave that we're watching on the replay. That is below a mid-range score, and can you tell us why that would be below a mid-range score?
Yeah, because when you watch it, there was no real critical section, and he's just surfing along the wave. You know, he's feeling his feet on the wax, and he's doing the best that he can on that wave. But it was a very flat wave with no steep sections, and it's effectively almost cut back sort of turns all the way through to the shore. So as much as he gets quite a few turns in, none of them were critical, and that's why the score reflects that sort of surfing.
Thank you for your insight, Richie. We'll check back with you later.
No worries.
Richie Porter, our head judge here on the World Surf League, and we have an international judging panel up in the judges' tower. Rule book and the judging criteria, commitment and degree of difficulty. Of course, we'd love to see that innovation and progression, combination of major maneuvers, variety within those maneuvers, and the basis of all good surfing pots, speed, power, flow.
Yep, and that all translates into numbers, and basically today you're going to be looking at good, excellent waves to make it through heats. Nothing average will succeed today, Kopo.
Well, we're down to 15 minutes, and wow, highest wave so far in this heat of 4.33 for John Florence. So the surfers are going to get our hustle on. John's going to hustle into a right just to reposition himself and kick back out. Yago, Blue Pea by his name, holding priority, so he has first choice of any wave coming through. He's been sticking to the lefts. Looks like he may be heading more over to the right. John. Sleepy little start, winds up off the bottom, schwacks it off the top, looks for a barrel, finds it every time, doesn't he? Kicks out.
Well, that was a sneaky little wave. Kind of showed a little bit of disinterest at the beginning of that, but obviously just biding his time, and then all of a sudden it lit up. So John, that's going to be the best wave so far. A little bit more speed, a little bit more energy, and that's all you need really in conditions like this. Yago Dora, here we go.
Good looking wave, left for Yago. Nice carve to start. Throws the air reverse and stomps the landing. Looks to the beach, and they like what they're seeing.
Well, just as we thought, Kopo, it is going to become a slugfest here underneath the 15-minute mark, 14, just on 14 to go. Let's have a look at Yago's wave. Now, he's been trying this combo the entire heat so far. First turn, just hooks into it nicely, setting things up, and then the ability just to get up above the lip and spin that board around. Beautiful right there from Yago Dora. Nice rail game as well, just hooking into that first turn, double pump bottom turn, and then just got a lot of spring in his step, hasn't he? Lands backwards, spins that around. Great control from Yago. And on the other side, John, you can see just biding his time. I love this turn right here. Lightning fast maneuver. Hits the brakes, pulls in nice and tight. Not a deep barrel, so I can't see it going too high, but and then Yago again, rapid fire. So this heat's starting to warm up. We're starting to see these guys show a little bit more interest, a little bit more energy. Game on.
Game is on, and shots fired across the bow of the SS John Florence by Yago Dora. And we're going to see what that number comes. We're waiting for scores. Last to John was a 5.83. Here's another look at Dora.
Yeah, this is the one we just saw the end of. Yago Dora, two-turn combo. So John with a 4.33 and a 5.83. We're still waiting for that air reverse from Yago. And this one here, two-turn combo from Yago Dora. We're not going to see long waves today. We're going to see short, intense waves. We're going to see big turns. as he does a lap of honor right in front of the hometown crowd. And they are lighting it up at 7:15 this morning. It is on.
Previous wave for
Wow.
Yago Dora at 8.33. We're still waiting for one more score for the Brazilian Goofy Foot.
Wow. Well,
8.33 up in the excellent range, and
Yep.
he's hearing it right now from the beach announcer.
Yep, 8.33. There you can see 2 8.5s, 3 8s. You drop the high and the low. Averaged out 8.33. Great surfing from Yago. We're still waiting for one more wave to drop in. He's going to better that 2.67. So at the moment, John needing a 5.18. That is going to get pushed out just a little bit more. 11 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. We have finally got a heat on our hands.
We sure do. And as we wait for that second number for Yago Dora, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of the Oi Rio Pro presented by Corona. Some highlights for John Florence from 2016 on his way to his first world title. During that break, another score dropped for Yago Dora, 6.5. Combine that with his 8.33. That means John needs a 9-point ride right now. Dora's going to stay busy. Now, looking to the right. Nice vertical approach on the first turn. Hooks it through. Another finishing move, and the crowd continues to grow, and they love this young up-and-coming phenom. John right behind him. Scratching. Warbly wave. Nice hook to start off. Looking for something big. Goes for the alley-oop. Lands on the roof and goes down.
Wow. Wow, that was a difficult little wave to ride, and I think John knew he needed something special on it just to try and get a good score, but he needs a massive score of a 9.0 to get himself back in the heat. 8 minutes remaining. Yago Dora mixing it up with a bit of backhand surfing as well. You can see John, first turn, just setting things up. I like the way he hits the brakes, and now he starts to get those legs bent. Big alley hoop, lands on the roof of the wave and goes down. So a little bit of a mistake there from John. And on the flip side of the coin, Yago Dora with a nice tight backhand snap. Draws off the bottom and hooks it up nice and vertical again. So two-turn combo from Yago Dora. He's starting to feel it. His confidence is starting to elevate. And we are starting to see this kid light it up against the best in the world.
Well,
wow.
Well, we knew the challenge was going to be there for him, but let's check out. Where's Waz? He's down on the beach. Strider, tell us what's going on.
Well, I just came down to the beach to check on the water temp because I wanted to know if it was still as warm as it has been, and it is. You know, we got a really cold air this morning, but the water's still really warm, probably like 74. I mean, unbelievably nice. That said, the faces of Saquarema continue to change. The conditions are completely different. It's like head high, a little overhead, tides, you know, moving around. A little bit of backwash, not as much as we've seen. But what we have seen every day are the crowds. The crowds down here are out of control. I'm talking, there's like thousands of people all the way up and down this beach. It's like 7:15 in the morning right now, 7:20. And there's people from one end of the beach to the other watching this heat. And they're psyched for both John and Yago. And Yago looked a little nervous to me this morning when he ran out there, but when he went by the jet ski, he was waving his board around and trying to get the crowd involved. So that's a dangerous sign for John.
Thanks, Waz. And during that check-in with Strider, that right-hander for Yago Dora, the number dropped a 717. The requirement for John Florence, you can see now a near perfect score. John needs a 9.67. Coming around the corner here, what's he got? He's got a big slash, building up some speed. Hucks a full row on the roof again, incomplete again, and the plot continues to thicken, Potts.
That's what he's got to do, though. I mean, there's no holding back anymore, and John understands that, especially after that 5.83, which, you know, was a good wave, but nothing in comparison what's been going down. So John, identifying the fact he's got to light it up. I like it. A bit more energy, just catch waves, try and find the groove. You know, this kid's the best in the world. I have no doubt he's going to come back swinging. Beautiful air reverse, lands on the roof of the lip again, and just doesn't quite make that transition. So, you know, sometimes when you're in a little bit of a hurry, sometimes when you're trying to force the issue, things don't quite go the way you want them to. But look at that, beautiful rotation. Lands a little bit too far up the board and goes down again. 5 minutes remaining. Yago Dora increased his scoreline with that 717, as you said before, Kuiper. A 9.67 required from John Florence.
As we're getting that vision in slow motion of that front side rotation, we could see Yago Dora looking out the back, looking towards the beach to see if John pulled that off. Now he knows that he's got the world champ in a corner. The support squad on the beach, intent, not showing a lot of emotion as of yet. They know it's far from over with John Florence.
Oh, 100%. I mean, even if you've got John in a combo situation, you know, we saw that happen at Bells Beach. Mick Fanning was surfing probably one of the best heats of the day. Had John comboed, what does he do? He comes back with a perfect 10 and an alley-oop that we've never seen before at J-Bay. So, I mean, it's Bells Beach. So, you know, this kid is capable of big things. Even with 4 minutes remaining, it's a quick turnaround as far as paddling back out goes. So let's not count him out just yet.
Potts, let's check out the heat recap.
Yeah, well, a little bit of a slow start, a little bit of a sleepy start for this heat, but it did start heating up. And John Florence gets a nice little tube ride. I'd be pretty happy with that wave, but the judges didn't really like it that much. 5.83. He needs to go a little bit more ham, that's for sure. Yago Dora, this was his best wave, an 8.33. Slash combo to air reverse, he's loving it. And then backs it up with a bit of variety, a bit of backside surfing. Nice straight up and down vertical surfing from Yago Dora. The crowd absolutely going wild here this morning. And we find that the local kid, the wild card Yago Dora, the trials winner, has the world champ against the ropes with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Potts, we've talked about it before with these wild cards. This is an opportunity for him to make his presence known on a global stage. 6 waves being ridden by each of our surfers. We can see it in the scoreline up above. The green highlighting the top 2 rides, and that equals the scoreline.
Yeah, well, back in my day, Kuiper, we used to pray for the wild cards. Now you just pray you don't get them. Things have changed in the modern day of surfing, and these wildcard surfers are ultra dangerous. As we see more sets approaching, Yago Dora with priority as well as the lead. A massive lead over John Florence. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. It's becoming a little bit more difficult right now from John. But with that single wave required, John is capable of a 10 with 1 turn. So let's wait and see how this unfolds.
Potts, we talk about heat control, and that's exactly what Yago Dora has right now with the lead as well as priority. And time is looking good for Yago because he just needs to hold off John Florence for another 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
You know, at the beginning of the heat, when you watch this heat start, you know, Yago was making a bunch of mistakes, you know, just small scores. But then something clicked for him. He found his feet. You know, I thought John was going to run away with it at that stage. I thought it was going to just be a John Florence show. I thought the kid was going to crack under the pressure. Not to be. He's just showed that he belongs, showed that that number 3 on the WQS is no fluke, and we are going to see this kid at some stage. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he makes the world tour.
That's right. Yago Dora, when your dad's a surf coach, you're not going to make any tactical errors either. having priority right now. He's going to stay real close to John John. If a quality wave does come through, he's going to execute that priority, take the wave from John John, and give John John even less of an opportunity. So this is absolutely anxious times for the Jeep leaderboard number 1, John John Florence. We're down to 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Do you reckon the crowd are going to go wild if Yago beats John?
We are going to hear a thunderous roar and could even break into song.
Oh my God. It is going to lose. They're going to lose it. That's for sure. 55 seconds remaining, and Yago Dora holding down that priority. John trying to, I don't know, find some space maybe. Try and find something special. Needs a 9.67, so that is something very special. If it was Margaret River, I'd say no worries, but it's not. It's a little bit of a beach break that's kind of sleepy here this morning. You see some bumps coming through out the back, 30 seconds remaining.
Yago can play some defense right now. He does have first priority. They see the waves coming. They're aware of the time. John John Florence, a third, a first, and a third so far in 2017. This could be his first shocker of 2017. It's only 10 seconds on the countdown. Dora's for sure going to utilize priority. Takes the wave from John John. Clock's winding down. Does John have enough time? Yago surfs this through. Horn blows. And a statement to the world. Yago Dora, 20 years old from Florianopolis, is on to round the number 4, beating world number 1, John John Florence, Potts.
Well, I have to say, I didn't see that coming. You know, you watch the beginning of that heat. A couple of mistakes from the rookie, the wild card, but he just proved that he is one to watch. That is for sure. I mean, we were all sitting here earlier saying this is going to be John's biggest test here today. If he makes it through this, he's going to probably go on and win this thing. But in saying that, Yago Dora comes out on top. Wow.
And saying that, when you beat the world number 1, maybe you as an underdog are on the way to win this thing. We're going to be back with another big heat. Jordy Smith comes up against Jadson Andre. Stick around for more of the Oi Real Pro presented by Corona.
Do you like that? Well, if so, subscribe over there and then watch more videos over there. And then tell us your favorite videos down there. It's a 3-step process. Do them all now.